In just over 2 weeks, people in Iowa will help all of us decide who will be the Republican nominee for president. There have been months of campaigning, of course, and former President Donald Trump still holds an overwhelming lead nationally and in the state of Iowa, more than 30 points ahead of his closest rival there. The situation is a little different in New Hampshire, where Trump holds a slimmer but still very large lead over Nikki Haley. So what are his opponents doing to get a final boost, if one is possible? Robert Costa has been following it all for us. Bob, good morning. Okay, so can anybody catch Donald Trump, and have they been doing anything new in the last couple weeks?
Good morning, Tony. They are certainly trying. For former Ambassador Nikki Haley, it's all about New Hampshire, but she's trying to get beyond that riptide of controversy she got pulled into regarding her remarks on the Civil War. Her path in New Hampshire complicated by former New Jersey Governor Chris Christie, who's making a stand in that state. For Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, though, it's all about the Iowa Caucuses. He's making appeals to evangelicals, but the frontrunner there, former President Donald Trump, has a real foothold in Iowa, has built relationships in the faith community with Republicans in that state, and he is by far ahead in the polls in Iowa, and it's going to be a closing stretch that's really competitive for the second tier, but not necessarily for Trump.
Bob, he's also leading the field in legal complications. New headlines seems like every day. Now there are questions about the ballot. There's all kinds of stuff tied to his behavior on January 6th, the riot at the Capitol. Is any of that having an impact on voters there in Iowa?
Behind the scenes, it's frustrating Trump's rivals that it's not having an impact on the primary race, but so few of them are willing to talk about Trump's legal challenges out in public. They grumble about it to us privately, and that's a real tell that they don't believe Republican voters care about what's happening for former President Trump. But what's happening in the courts, especially with special counsel Jack Smith in his upcoming scheduled trial for March on Trump's conduct in and around the insurrection, that could complicate the general election should Trump sew up the nomination in the spring. If that starts in March or April or May, it all will come down to the Supreme Court and whether it hears certain cases and the judge in that case decides to postpone when that trial begins.
And a lot is in the balance, Bob. Thank you very much.